target neutralized.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. A long time no see. I haven't posted in like 3 weeks. I know, I'm so sorry. But in today's video, as you guys have probably read from the title, I'm gonna be showcasing arguably the best build for running the Crossroads Climax mission. And the damage is absolutely insane. So if you need something that hits hard and has a great amount of survivability, then you just may like this setup. So guys, thank you so much for being here, and without further ado, let's check this build out. Okay guys, so this is pretty much a 4-piece Striker setup with the exotic Memento bag. Striker, as many of you know, is a very powerful gear set, so naturally it was my initial choice. But when you combine Striker with the Memento bag, it becomes a powerhouse. And this is because Memento will provide your agent with both a short and long-term buff, which will ultimately increase both your damage and survivability. This is the ideal setup for solo players since it has a ton of survivability, but it also performs very well in groups. And with the seasonal modifiers active, you get a crazy high damage increase. So for the primary weapon, you have a lot of options, but I'm currently running the Backfire Exotic SMG, but if any of you don't have the Backfire, then you can try AR alternatives like the Chameleon, St. Elmo's Engine, Strega, or even the Lexington. But the Chameleon would be the best AR option in my opinion because of how powerful its weapon talent is. You can see some really great damage from the Chameleon when paired with Striker. But as far as alternative SMGs, you also have the option of using the Vector or Chatterbox, or the Dark Winter if you have one. Now for the secondary weapon, I'm using the Rock and Roll, which is basically the named version of the ACS-12 model shotgun. There's also another named model called the Lefty, but the Rock and Roll is the best option because it comes with the talent Perfectly Extra, which grants a larger mag size. So if you have the Rock and Roll, then go with this, but if not, then you can just use a regular ACS-12 shotgun. In the meantime, the ACS-12 is ideal for building Striker stacks. It's optional, but since I'm running the Striker vest, it helps a lot. But for the mask, the first piece of Striker with armor, critical hit damage, and a protection from elite mod. Then for the vest, a Striker vest with armor, critical hit chance, and another PVE mod. Then for the holster, an improvised piece with armor, critical hit damage, armor regeneration, and a PVE mod. For those who don't know, you can craft improvised pieces of gear at the crafting station, and all improvised pieces come with mod slots. So in other words, improvised gear pieces are the only exception when it comes to masks, vests, and backpacks being the only 3 pieces to have mod slots. For the knee pads, the 3rd piece of Striker with armor and critical hit chance, then the 4th piece with armor and critical hit damage. Then last, but certainly not least, the exotic Memento backpack. So as I stated earlier, and as many of you guys know, this backpack is extremely viable because it provides your agent with both a short and long-term buff. The long-term buff at full stacks ultimately grants you 30% weapon damage, skill efficiency, and about 3% armor regeneration. This long-term buff will last for 5 minutes, but the timer refreshes upon collecting more trophies. And if anyone here is a bit confused on what trophies are, they're basically an icon that will drop from downed enemies for you to collect, similar to collecting dog tags from the game mode Kill Confirmed, if anyone here has ever played any of the Call of Duty games. Now, as far as the short-term buff, you're going to be getting a lot of bonus armor, which essentially scales to the number of blue core you have equipped. So since I have 6 armor core attributes with this setup, I get about 60% armor per trophy that I collect. So that's why I have so much bonus armor, and it gets amplified with having all armor core attributes, right? And you also get both weapon damage and skill efficiency buffs as well. And the same rule applies, so since I only have 1 weapon damage and skill tier core attributes, I only get both 5% weapon damage and skill efficiency per stack. Now, if anyone here doesn't have this backpack, you can try either a Cheska bag or a Grupo if you have. You get 8% critical hit chance from Cheska and about 13% critical hit damage from Grupo. And for the talent, you can either go with Bloodsucker or Adrenaline Rush. These 2 talents provide a decent amount of bonus armor, but the named Liquid Engineer bag is another great alternative. Now, for the skills, I'm using the Striker Ballistic Shield variant, which I highly recommend if anyone doesn't mind using the Ballistic Shield. It gives you a nice damage boost, which is very noticeable, especially with the backfire. But if the Ballistic Shield isn't really your playstyle, you can use any of the Smart Cover variants if you would rather play more tactical by using the Division 2's cover-based mechanics. The Fortified Smart Cover actually works really well with the St. Elmo's engine, or any AR for that matter, because it provides weapon handling and additional bonus armor. You also get immunity and stagger resistance, which helps prevent you from getting knocked out of cover from drones and grenadiers, right? But ultimately, use whatever skill you feel comfortable with or fits your playstyle. For the secondary skill, I recommend using the Reviver Hive. Whether you're solo or with a team, it comes in clutch with revives. And for the stats, just in case anyone's wondering, 60% critical hit chance and 96% critical hit damage. 96% is low, but you get up to 200% critical hit damage from the Backfires talent. So with the Backfires Payment in Kind talent, you get 2% critical hit damage per stack. Max stacks is 100, so that's 200% at full stacks. Not to mention, you get even more critical hit damage from the loaded up passive modifier. So this modifier basically takes a portion of your critical hit chance, so about 25%, to add as critical hit damage while at tier 5 firearms. And for the last two passive modifiers, I went with the best kind of defense and extra padding. If the bleed side effect from the backfire is a problem for you, you also have the option of using the safety first modifier, which grants a decent amount of hazard protection. And for the active modifier, I went with Assault Link, which I highly recommend using since this is an all armor core build. You're basically getting an increased 30% weapon damage for 25 seconds, and you can pop this buff every minute. Also, if you feel like you don't really need the protection from elite mods, you can just go with critical hit damage mods instead and swap improvised out with a yawl piece for the extra hazard protection if you decide to use the backfire. But anyways, guys, that will do it for today's video. This is Prajna. Thank you so much for watching, and if you guys have any questions, leave them down for me in the comment section. Oh, also, if anyone's interested, check out the Sword Gaming Discord server. I'll leave a link in the description. But anyway, guys, keep it cool, keep it classy, and see you in the next video. Peace out.